What's good, everybody? Will Frazier, your credit and business expert here, and today we are doing video 2 in the series, The 10 Commandments of Credit. If you're just now jumping into the series from this video, then make sure that you go back and watch the first video to get more insight on why this series has started. But basically, to sum it up, you know, there are a lot of different tricks, new tricks that pop up out there that everybody wants to try to get to better credit or better money, better finances. And there are a whole bunch of principles that are right here in a book that everybody has in the Bible. And we're going over the biblical principles that actually teach you what you should be doing in regards to your credit, because a lot of people don't think that the Bible talks about credit, but there are plenty of solid principles in there that you can follow that will actually help lead you to better credit and maintaining it. And again, today we're going to be going over the second of those 10 commandments of credit, again, to help get you to a better place with your credit. Now, the second commandment that we're going to go over is going to be, thou shalt put good credit over money. Now, I know, everybody's always talking about cash is king. Cash is king. It's better to have cash than credit. You can do more with cash than credit, but I can tell you that that's not my philosophy and how I believe in things. And based on what I say today, you might see that the Bible might say something a little bit different. Now again, the Bible does talk about money and wealth and all of that in abundance, but there might be some things in there that are a little bit overlooked when they're spoken. But there are some things in there that allude to credit being a little more important than cash. And again, I'm not a pastor, preacher, or priest. I'm just a regular guy reading the Bible for what it is and telling you what the scriptures are saying to me in regards to credit. So the scripture that I'm getting this from is going to be Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. So this is what I'm talking about. Now, when you look at that, the scripture says a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. What is your name? So when you actually go and try to apply for something at the bank, you might have great riches in the bank. You might have a lot of money in your bank account. But also, when you go to the bank, you can apply for a credit card, you can apply for a loan, for a car, a mortgage, or anything like that. Now that's the part where your good name comes into play. Because when they submit your information for that application, you're submitting your name, your address, social, and then the lender's taking a look at your credit history, which is really what your name is. Everything under there is stuck to your name. So when they're looking at Mr. Johnson and seeing what his name says about him, they're gonna be like, oh well, I see Mr. Johnson had a credit card that he hasn't paid on it in 6 months and it's over the credit limit. And also, Mr. Johnson, 3 years ago you had a car loan, it got repossessed. So this is what your name is telling us, and I really don't know if we want to extend any amount of money to you, because your name shows that you don't really pay back things in the past and even right now. Also, hopefully this isn't you, but everybody has a family member that might owe another family member some money. So you might have borrowed some money from your cousin and you never paid your cousin back, and then guess what happens? He goes to the family and he tells them that you owe him such and such amount of money, you haven't paid him back, and then what happens to your name? Your name starts getting dragged through the mud throughout the family. Then you go to another family member because you already owe this family member money, so you can't go back to them. So then you go back to the other family members, they don't want to give you money either, because your name is now bad. Because when people hear your name, they hear somebody who does not pay people back. So again, while you were able to get money at one point in time for something, whether it be through a bank or through a family member, once your name gets tarnished, then while you might have had some riches, now you have no access to any more riches because your name isn't good. And again, this isn't to ruffle anybody's feathers here, but this is, just to explain what I'm seeing here from this first part of the scripture. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, because a good name can give you access to more riches. And when we go back and look at the second part, it says, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Favor is also more important than silver and gold. So what is favor? Favor is you being able to have access to something that you may not have been able to get before, or something that you may not deserve, or being able to get more than somebody else is able to get. And that is basically the same thing as your credit. If you have better credit than somebody else, you can get more money at a cheaper cost than another person. A person with $10,000 in the bank in bad credit can't get access to a loan or a line of credit to start a business that might cost him, $50,000, $100,000, because he might have some money, but he doesn't have the good credit. But a person with no money or the same amount of money as you that has better credit has access to more money. And as far as business goes, it could be, you decide you want to get into real estate. All of a sudden, a property comes up at a great value and you want to be able to get it while it's on the market, and in a hot market like it is now, you might want to jump on it quickly. If you don't have enough cash and then you don't have access to cash, then you have to sit out and miss out on that opportunity, versus somebody that does have that favor, that good credit, that they have access to do something like that and jump on the opportunity as it presents itself. So again, I know that people say cash is more important than credit. Cash is king. While cash does have its benefits, it also has weaknesses, and it also does not give you access to the leverage and opportunities that credit can give you. And if you're looking at credit as a negative because it can be considered a debt, as far as debt goes when it comes to credit, it's only really a bad thing or a debt if you're using the credit for things that don't bring back money to you or things that are not an asset. So when you use credit for things that aren't, good things that are going to provide those two benefits I just mentioned to you, then you're using credit to get in debt and you're not using credit for assets. And that's when using credit can become a bad thing. But when you use it as leverage, it is always going to turn out to be a good thing. So that is the second commandment: put good credit over money. And again, that scripture came from Proverbs 22:1. Now make sure you check out the third video that's going to be coming up to learn about the third of the 10 commandments of credit. And just to give you a sneak peek on what it is, it's actually going to be called "Thou shalt not keep up with the housewives of" wherever, Atlanta, Miami, whatever it is. But that's what the next commandment is going to be. Make sure you do tune in for that video once it's available. If you guys got value from this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll be notified of any new videos I put out, just like this one. I thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll see you next time.